Welcome back, everybody. We are now in Satisfactory after a solid Minecraft session. That VOD is on Twitch and will be on YouTube soon, so you can check it out at Joel Duggan VODs on YouTube or just here on the Twitch channel at your leisure. But we are standing in the midst of the Megatron power facility, which is being modeled after, you guessed it, Megatron the Transformer. And we need to get some progress done on this because Update 6 is happening in about a week. We are currently in Update 5 in Early Access, and I still need to go and tear down the other power facilities. So we may end up doing some of that today, but you might notice a few changes here because I added a few things and did a few measurements. I thought about where the second floor is going to be for these fuel generators, and I'm raising up. So this section here will have to be redone because we're going to be putting it up here. I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm getting an absolutely terrible frame rate, so we're going to try and get away from the factory for a minute and get a better look for everybody. Yeah, I think it's important, Nobu, you know, if I switch games, and I want to make sure there's a separate VOD. So I like to take a nice big break if I do a double header. So there's a couple of things that you'll notice in the structure that I'm changing. So there is the bottom level where we were going to put these, and now we're going to be putting them at this height. This height, I think, gives us a nice distance between the roof of this and the bottom of that. Gives us a chance to put some struts and some supports and stuff in between. And you can't tell from this angle, but I've started to build a circle that I think we're going to put in that area. And I'll show you how I did it and complete a good chunk of it here today. Do I have enough concrete on me? Oh yeah, I got tons. Okay. But the other mission is going to be to try and come up with a decorative way to house the blenders in these floors. This is the location where they're going to be, but they can really take any kind of configuration. And if we go down there, again, you'll see that we have this pipe going up the middle of the floor. And I'm trying to debate whether this is something I want to keep here. Or not. I'm not entirely sure. I gotta figure out if there's something running in the background on my computer that's causing this choppiness. No, it doesn't look like it. That's annoying. So yeah, I'm not sure if I want to keep this fuel pipe. That's the export from this floor. They create diluted fuel and then they send this up to the next floor. Which will eventually make its way up to the top. And here you can start to see the inside circle. You can't see the outside circle from here. But I've got a couple of images that I've pulled from the old Cybertron game that I quite like. But I'm pretty sure I want to keep this small circle, and this is an easier one to build. So we can keep on going with this. But you can see I've got a quarter circle here that goes along the edge here, around to there. So I'm going to build, I think, the first half of it. It's going to be tricky because we're going to have to disconnect some of this stuff. But then the inside circle, and we're going to be able to hide all of this Z fighting, the Z fighting on the textures. I don't mind the outside. I think the outside looks kind of cool. It looks kind of like a gear. I don't know if we're going to be able to see the outside. The inside, though, from here will be visible because you can see it here, but there's no, they overlap, so there's no weird pattern, and there's no Z fighting from in here either, which is cool. So we can just continue this right around, I think. It happens to be the same width as this square, so we might end up taking this all the way down, which will also help with this particular setup too. These things will be able to run right into it, so that could look kind of cool. We'll see. Will there be a functional factory as well as a robot? Well, I'm using the shape language and some of the things to design the factory. I don't know if it's actually going to be... It might not look like a robot, I guess is what I'm saying. Oops. I need zoop mode. So, for the circles, they're pretty straightforward, depending on how you want to make them. Circles with pillars are harder. I'm doing circles with foundations, just as a starter. So, you get your zoop mode, hold down Control, and then rotate with your mouse wheel, and it'll turn it 5 degrees. And then count out the number that you want. For me, it's 5. Going to give us a 9 diameter circle, and then you just remove 4, and then rinse and repeat. And the cool thing is that it remembers, so if I hit Control again, it goes to 5 degrees. Mouse wheel 1 click, that goes to 10 degrees, and then you do that. You highlight 4, and delete them. And I'm going to have to build something else over here, because I'm about to get in my own way. It's a little bit easier if you can do it from above, but of course, right now, I have a ceiling to deal with. Once you get going, though, it doesn't really take that long. I'm about to get in my own way. That's a mood. I can see that. Thanks everybody that's been that stuck around from the Minecraft stream. I know a lot of times people that watch the Minecraft streams tend to just go over to a new Minecraft stream, but anybody that wants to experience a new game, if you have any questions, let me know. I've got almost 1,000 hours in Satisfactory. So you can see, once you get going, it's really not that bad, unless you mess up while you're trying to explain what's happening. I don't remember what level that was. Didn't know you could do that, the circle thing? Yeah. There's a couple of really good tutorials from some people on YouTube. If I think about it, I can post them in the Discord. Sometimes they look better than others. I don't particularly like the circles that are just like for no reason, you know? Like I kind of want to do something cool with them. But like, we just did a quarter circle in, I think, 5 minutes, maybe less. So as we get farther down, you'll be able to see how cool this is going to look when you're looking up at it from down here. Right? I think a circle up there is going to be very, very cool. So it's not perfect, like there you can still see some of the little chamfers in it, but that's fine. When you're dealing with a game with blocks. By the way, I was watching an I'm Kibitz video, and apparently they're adding half foundations. So this has got 4 squares in it. 2 of these squares, they're adding half foundations, and they're adding a pipe augment set, which allows you to make like cylinders. So rather than having to do pillars that are square, you could do Like this is a half circle, and then this is a half circle. So it's an 8-meter diameter circle, or cylinder, I guess. It's gonna be really cool. I linked it in the Discord. I didn't queue it up to the exact moment in the video, but Kibitz talks about it very early on. I do find the Z fighting really hard on the eyes. I wish there was a way for games to not do this, because otherwise I would do what we're doing now a lot more if it meant that we wouldn't have to deal with the Z fighting, because we're gonna have to find a way to possibly hide it if we can. So same idea, you know, you start here, control, and you go just a little bit in the other direction. I usually find it easier to stand on the side because you can then select the ones you want to delete a lot easier. So it speeds up the process a bit. So I thought I'd start the Satisfactory stream with some chill building. But speaking of, I put chilled as one of the tags on the stream. It's a new tag that Twitch has. But I'm curious because Twitch also allows me to add my own tags. If those just go for people searching, or if you all see all the different tags in the video. I'm assuming you're only seeing the normal Twitch tags like chilled, probably family friendly, and no backseating is probably the other one. Can't see any tags at the moment? That's annoying. What's the point of letting me make tags? I wonder if Streamlabs desktop overrides the tags. I wouldn't be surprised. Does anybody in the chat know if that's the case? So Satisfactory is the game category. I don't know what the point of having like a no backseating tag is if people coming in can't see it, right? Jordan, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. If, and this is a big if, says Cosmic, I can be torn away from the cult of Lamb, I may make a new start with Update 6 and Satisfactory. I feel like I've definitely learned more from watching your streams where I feel confident, not overwhelmed. Very cool. I'm glad to hear that, Cosmic. I think the other thing, too, to remember is that your first factory in a new save is going to be destroyed. Like, you're going to have to remove it at some point. So, in that light, the mistake that I made with my early factory is I got too precious with it. And now I don't want to destroy it because it took so freaking long to build. But it's garbage. Like, it's not even efficient. Like, I would much rather do it over. But instead, I'm opting for like these big builds and just using my initial factory as like a parts factory. But if I was to do it again, or when I do it again, because I'll probably do a new save with the full release of Satisfactory whenever that happens. I would more than likely do like a very temporary setup, like just platforms, get myself the parts, the space elevator things, and then go from there. So we're almost done. And Cosmic, I took your advice and I decided to turn on the music. I don't know if we're going to be getting any new tracks, but the music is happening. Let me know if it's too loud, too soft. And I have disengaged my normal background music for my breaks so that when I go on a break, you'll be hearing Satisfactory music instead. The music did not start playing during my starting soon screen, so that's why I had the other music going. autosave. As long as it's not so soft. Because I've watched some streams recently where the background music that the person had going was so soft, I thought my audio system was screwing up. And so I had to like turn it way up and realize, oh, that's the game music I'm hearing, not some weird muffled thing in the background that I'm not supposed to. So once you get in a groove with this, it's actually not too bad. I'm just going to be careful not to delete this pipe here. And you don't have to do 5 degrees. You could probably do 10 with the circle being this this small on the inside. If you couldn't see it from the outside or inside, then you can go with a different interval in terms of how many pieces are in your circle. It just won't look as round. But if that doesn't matter to you, or if you prefer it to look more like it's like a, I'm not sure what the word would be, like, you know, what's a hexagon if it's got 12 sides? It's not a hexagon. It's called, like, it's got some special name that I don't remember from geography class, geometry class, not geography. So we've got one more to put in, I think. So if I go out there, you'll see the difference. Right? So you get one overlap, but you don't get two. So there's 2 overlaps there, but there's just one there. So depending on what you were doing, your overlaps would look different, which could be either, you know, the desired outcome or not. But that should, I think, complete the pattern. Yeah, see, now they're all even. Cool. Circle. Good stuff. I think that's going to look really cool. What did Obu say? Dodecagon is a 12-sided polygon. Okay, polygon. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Obu. Yeah, I used to know all that stuff. I do not anymore. Dodecahedron is a 12-faced solid, right? Like that's dodecahedron. That's like the 12-sided die for role-playing games, right? For tabletop D&D. What's the 20? What's the 20-sided die called? I'm curious now. I mean, decagon and decahedron, that makes sense. You know, flat geometric shape versus 3D volumetric shape, right? Are you keeping the pink walls? Yeah, well, yeah, because I think if we look up Energon, if you look up Energon from the 1980s Transformers, I think what I'm going to do, Cosmic, actually, is I'm going to do, it's going to be Energon-like, but check this out. So we can do something like this. So these are the big signs. They're just turned sideways down there. But we can come in here and we can remove, we can put something like this in here. And then we can do oh no, that's not what I want. Select image. I want other, nothing there. And then select image. We're going to do this one. And then remove the sign language. Illuminate. And then that gray color is this. So we could take this to like kind of like a bright. I feel like if we go I like a pink color, but then we have to make it dark. Otherwise it doesn't look very good when you light it up. So it sort of looks pink. But then you've got that. And we could also, I believe, use this color here. But then take this color and make it like very purple. And it sort of looks like energy. We might want to tone this down a little bit, which is weird because it's so dark already. So if we remove that and take that down there, and then take this up to a more saturated place. You can sort of do cool stuff like that. And if it's always moving like that, it's really cool. Plus, if you put them together and then you copy the signs, they actually animate synced up. So the whole wall just does that. It's more dramatic with a darker background, of course. Right? Cool. So imagine that, but imagine it as like a backdrop. See where I've got those three signs in there? So imagine all that is moving. I've seen some really cool stuff, and I'm not yet ready. I don't have the link, the Nightbot thing ready, but I want to put a link to a couple of creators I've been following on YouTube. They're very, very cool. Very, very cool creators. Oh, you knew Energon was pink, you just weren't sure if I was going to keep it pink. Yeah, I mean, that or purple. I mean, I'll probably have, like, because of the whole Megatron vibe. Oops, that's the wrong thing. This one. I mean, he's got some purple, he's got some pink, he's got, you know, red, and, like, his eyes are kind of a reddy fuchsia. So I'll probably get some, especially with the Decepticon symbol, there's definitely going to need to be some purple in this building, for sure. So I guess the next thing is to try and fit in all of these columns. I've got most of these, I think, etched in the outside. I feel like we can maybe do something with these pipes. A little bit more interesting. I don't think they're going to shoot into the middle. I think they're going to come in and then go straight up over the edge of the circle. So they'll kind of like wrap around the circle. Could be kind of fun. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the circle, it's once you learn how to do them, it's actually not that hard. It's repetitive. And the larger the diameter, of course, the longer it takes you. And that's tricky. Especially if you've got like, you know, you can only zoop 10 in a row. So if your diameter is more than 21, then you've got like a couple of steps to do. So, but the next thing I want to try and tackle is figuring out how to make these blenders look cool. And I'm not happy with these hypertubes, but oh, no, I don't want to go back down. I'm trying to think about how to make this a pedestrian-friendly factory as well. So like I said, I'm not in love with this, but it's not the end of the world. These, though, just kind of sitting here doing nothing, feel very, very strange. And I think I'd like to maybe push them farther apart and have some sort of cool housing or something for them. So I think what we'll do is we'll play with the two over there. Because I'm not sure if this is going to be an entrance, and I'm not sure if that's going to be hypertubes. So I'm going to play with these guys over here and see if we can't come up with a cool way to kind of like house these. So one of the things that we've got access to, of course, is like we can take walls and we can put walls up against these and we can put them like through them. It's like I could take a wall barrier, road barrier, could line that up, something like this. And then I could take walls right. Those are a little bit tall, but that's not to say that we can't raise these up a bit, right? Like I could also, I guess that doesn't do any good. Is there anything that's a little bit taller than these things? So it works on some levels and it doesn't work on others. But we might be able to use a beam to hide that as well. I think I did that last time. Right, so that's something we can do. And I'm wondering if I want to also, like, frame it. So that we could have this kind of a thing. And maybe that's all we see. You know, like, what if we then have walls on the beams? I mean, I had to figure out a way to do this that would, you know, like maybe that's what we look at when we look down the middle, right? Maybe it hides everything. Or maybe we make sure that you can see that part. I mean, that's not the best, not the end of the world. I just want to come up with something unique, you know? So we'd have to, like, figure out the right distance for things. Well, thanks, Cosmic. I appreciate that. Yeah, I can link some of the creators. Right now we've got, I mean, I'm Kibitz, It's Bits. Who are the other folks? Zero. I can never remember the dude that starts with an S. Like Santi Anna or Santi. Anyway. So, I mean, this is a possibility. I would probably want to have something like maybe here or maybe on the back. Like to close that off. I don't know if we'd use these beams. We might use something else, but I like the industrial kind of nature of that. Could even go a little bit lower. Oh no, maybe not. Yeah, the beam looks good. I definitely like the beam on the bottom. Like, I feel like that's a solid idea. And then we can use either the connectors or just another beam. on the corners. There's also like beam connector. They're black. I think they look pretty good. So in that way we could kind of come up to one of these and kind of like put the beam connectors like right on the corners of the machine where we want, and then grab the beam and then just go right from the beam connector to beam connector. And that allows us to then go straight up and go straight up here. And on some of these I might want to go higher. Like when these things are working, like if you look over here, they've got arms going. They've got the these little mechanical arms zip back and forth. So I don't want to cut that off. So we'll have to be careful with how big the window is. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe we don't put it right up against the machine. We've got lots of room. So I could also, if this, like you see where the arms are sliding here, like maybe I want to take this out, you know, to there. I could still have that beam back there, but I could have another one here. That's the wrong spot, but you get the idea. And that way, if we had something here, when these things slide back and forth, they're not going to bump into anything. And then we could have this like that height, that goes across like that. And so you'd be looking into like a chamber where this would be happening. Right? So you'd see this happening, but you wouldn't just be looking at the whole machine. You'd have something here. And this could be covered in signs and decoration bits and all kinds of cool stuff. I feel like that's maybe something I want to look at. But if that's the case, we have to figure out where exactly the position is going to be and how it affects the logistics. Because all the piping is going to happen in the floor below. So I know that we wanted to move these back because these guys are too close. So we decided that that's too close, and even just a half foundation is enough room to walk through. But if we're going to be designing a room, then maybe that doesn't really matter. Because if we're going to have two walls here, I feel like this is going to have to be pushed back a bit. Yeah, the beam connectors work and it makes things a lot easier too. Is there a bird in the game or is it a blue jay in the backyard? No, it's a blue jay in the backyard. Just the right frequency. So maybe not quite that far back. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not quite that far back. All of this is going to be so much easier with half foundations in like a week. So I want to be careful I'm not like... I don't know if I'm going to plan too much because I want to be able to use the new parts. I could always temporarily open this save in an experimental. Like I could make a copy. I could open up an old save file. Or I could copy it and rename it. Yeah, I feel like that's too wide. So that's 1, 2, and a bit. So 2 probably at the most is where I would want it. And that's easy enough because we can just put those here and here. could run that snap to that? It does. Oh no, it's snapping to there. Okay. Beam. And then it's just a matter of like where do we place that in terms of its distance. I guess we'd want to have the pipes in there too, because the pipes are going to come out in this way, right? So that the closest we'd want it would be here. Nope, closer than that. But then that kind of clips that just ever so slightly. So I think we'll probably go back by a click. And then we could still do maybe the same thing here. Don't know what this is going to look like with the pipe on it. Oh, it's fine. That's a little bit of clipping, but you're really not going to see it. I guess this would be up here, wouldn't it? Yeah, like I feel like that's a cool looking situation. You're going to see movement, but you're not going to see everything. But then we'd have to figure out where in this run we'd want to position the blender so that we could hide some of it, but not all of it. It does have a really nice angle. I wonder if it's the same angle as the walls. If we just move that down a little bit. Not that far, maybe. Can't see. I just like being able to see parts of the blender, not all of it. Yeah, I agree. Alright, well that's annoying. But like we do have the ability to put a beam here. I think that means we can slide this wall wherever we want. Yeah. You know, like we could have this kind of a thing, but then flipped. Need something to stand on here. I don't know if that's exactly what we want, but if you combine that with being up a little bit higher, especially because we have a single path here. Maybe just a little bit higher. You'd see both, right? You'd see the blender thing up there. You'd see all the parts here. The arms you'd see, but maybe we'd have to like figure out how to do this. I don't know whether they gave us half walls along with the half foundations or whether it's just the things that we... just the foundations. So I don't know, maybe... yeah. Maybe the walls are all we really need. And then we just choose like where we want the little window to be. If we could make these feel central, and if we could fit in windows, this could be very, very cool. I mean, it means a lot of work, but it would look pretty stellar. Yeah, you can use the windows. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. I'd want to try and center that kind of thing. The issue with the blenders, of course, is that they're not an even foundation length. Like they've got their own spot. So what did I do over there with the doors? I think I liked what I had going on. So I have an empty spot here. I think is meant to be one of these. And then there's a square pillar here. And that's got a sign in it? Oh, I see. I think I should just start fresh with a new pillar shape. I feel like, I don't know if I like the whole door, like the idea of having doors everywhere. Like, I don't think I want another pillar here, you know? I think 3 looks kind of strange. 2 to me seems nice. But I don't want a wall here, I don't think. Because also this has to be hollow. Yeah, this whole space, that has to be hollow. That makes this feel kind of strange, this point. I'm not sure what we could do. Because we can't really intrude much on that, I don't think. Because if I remember, over there, I think we used the corner to run up the pipe. Yeah. Oh no, I guess we could intrude here. Because it's the front ones that go up even higher. Okay. So we can put something here. Yeah, symmetrical and supported. Yeah, I agree. But I'm liking it ending here rather than having this. But I'm just wondering if what I do here, because I do have this wall, if the wall stays here, that what I could do is even just run a diagonal wall, because we've got things, we've got these big, thick exterior walls that I can run stuff into. So like this could go here. I don't remember how many clicks it is. I think it's like 1, 2. It's 3, I guess. Two, 3. So if this is an exterior wall, we could easily have that there, and it just gets hidden in the wall. The only issue, of course, there is that we can't, if we were to put a door, well, we could leave the door there, or we could put the door here, but I don't know, like the middle of this section is not here. It's like 90%, 100%, and then like 60%. So I'm not even sure where the middle would be. I would love if they gave us some sort of measuring tool in the game. I think that would be pretty cool, rather than eyeballing everything. I mean, it looks like the door could be here, so we could use one of the doors that has like the side door. That looks pretty central. But at that point, you kind of wonder, well, wouldn't it be better to just, if you can't get it exactly in the middle, then don't try. You know, have it off center, have something else here to balance out the composition. Break time if you're ready for breaks, this Cosmic. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate the reminder. And a few seconds ago, McScrewgunn resubscribed for 17 months in a row. Holy smokes. Thanks so much, McScrewgunn. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Very much appreciated. And Mitron Darao 67. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. We've had a mouthful of names today. It's been a difficult difficult tongue twister of a day. But yes, Cosmic, it is indeed time for that break. But like that's not bad. I think it opens up the room nicely. And we can come up with other decorations and stuff to like tie it into the ceiling and whatnot. I just don't know what this would look like with like another like wall here, right? Not sure. I guess we could have some sort of like same sort of deal. Little peek hole there. I guess it all depends on how many walls we want to actually fit. So like if it goes all the way to here. Well, you know what? That's like 2.5, so that's pretty easy to do. Because you could just take a wall, stick it on the end, and then on the end. Oh, that's not the middle. I guess we could do that. Use that measurement and then just make sure that this is centered. If we did that, it would work. If we did that, it would work. Okay. Time for the break, Zoop. We are going to jump on the train. I imagine there will be a lot of backwards and forwards. I feel like you ride that forward once and then you end up riding backwards the whole time. Midday, okay. Totally tracks. You show up and it's break time. Well, I'm trying to stick to the breaks today because I'm doing a long day. So, it's smart to stay on task. If you're new to the stream, I take a break once an hour. You should too. Give your eyeballs a rest. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Right on time. Or at least good timing. This place is going to be massive. Or is massive. Just need to fill it with stuff. I still can't figure out how I want to come into this place. I don't know whether I want this to be the entrance or whether I want the floor to below to be the entrance. I have to be careful because I don't want to mess up the arrangement of 16 blenders that we're working towards on this top floor. What's after massive? Mahusive? Yeah, no, that's accurate. I would say that's probably the correct way to say that. Alright, so we know we need that this has to be at that level. We were thinking about having this up high so we can see down into the machine. I don't know if we'd want to have a ramp. Well, that cuts into that, so that's probably a no. There was more slanted walls in the update as well. The patch that came out. That sort of works. But then, does that mean we want to raise the entire floor? Or do we want to sink the machine? If we sink the machine, I think we'll run into logistics problems. Yeah, it would be tight. Oh no, that wouldn't work at all. That's too bad. And this is the ceiling, so I can't raise the ceiling or lower it. I guess I could. Well, no, because this side, the ceiling would run into... If we kept this low... Oh, wait a minute. Did I do that right? How was that? How was that 3 and that 2? Did I just make that lower by accident? I made it lower by accident. Yeah. Oh, that's not right at all. There we go. Raising the floor seems easiest, but then I don't know what that does to the edge of the platform. So if I raise the floor, like, do I end up bringing that all the way out here? right? And if that happens, then what do I do? Do I raise the doors? I mean, it's possible. It's not the end of the world. Because we've got half walls and 1 meter walls, like I can totally just grab that and then, right, like we could do 2 of those and then the door. Well, wrong door. Works just like normal. And that would maybe give us an opportunity to do some sort of like special color or something along here. So we could do something like that. Is there a down corner? I don't think there is. I think that's coming in the new update. They had down corner walls. Oh, they've got them. Is this one? I don't know, maybe this just goes straight across. It would mean that this beam might want to be a little bit higher. Huh, you can't snap them on top of one another. That's weird. I guess that's not really centered, is it? So it's hard to do. All right, well, if we've got that and we've got the other beam, yeah, it was right there. So we'll do that. It's gonna take a bit of finagling, I think, to get this to look right, but then we just have to move this into the right position and make sure that there's enough room on that side. So this might have to go a little bit farther. Can we put the pipe holes Oh, we can. Interesting. I wonder if we could do this. It's probably too short. Huh. I never thought about that. Classy. Looks like an elephant. Yeah, I do find that Satisfactory is a little bit restrictive, but they're getting better at adding new things. So the only thing I don't like about this is the fact that it clips the beam. And this was not quite centered. 1, 2, 3. So we wanted it centered here. So it would move this way? Maybe we don't need these. Of course, it's going to float on top of things. That's going to be a real pain. The fact that it's going to jump up on that. Yeah, so we have to wait and do that last. So that would be probably where I would want it to go. Because that lines up here. So that means we could do some sort of window thing here. If we did like a half wall. Oh, right. I was trying to line it up not in the middle of 3, but in the middle of 2.5. Right. So I want it lined up with this. Whoop, autosave. Am I Canadian? Yes. Yeah, from Nova Scotia. Boop, boop, boop. Blender. So a little bit too close that way. So that lines up with that. This is in the middle for like our wall window thing. And then there's lots of space around at this side now. On this side, though, really tight. And maybe that's just another door, you know? Like... So these aren't lining up for some reason. Let's just grab this straight window. Yeah. Still get the black lines there. But that's not to say we couldn't replace these with the little 1 meter guys. That actually doesn't look too bad with a different thing on the bottom. That's kind of cool. Come back here. And this would all be going into pipes. Tried to move to Canada just before COVID, but rules of entry changed just as we tried, and we went from desirable to no chance overnight. Oh, that's too bad. Bad luck. It was a good move on the Canadian government's part to be strict about things, but I think there's just a lot of bad luck going around with COVID. Could have windows along here, just like normal. I think this could work. The hard part is going to be figuring out what to do with the front part here. If I want to cover this up. If we do have a window where I want to put it, all that kind of stuff. And from out here, does this look like it has enough room? I feel like that's pretty good. Get rid of that. I actually don't know about that beam. Maybe we just... I'll have to rebuild the wall, but maybe we just go with a vertical window like that. That's kind of cool. Especially if I can put something in here, like a light. Where's the next power? Right, so we'd have that lit up. We change its color to something cool. That might not be so bad. I think we just need something sort of like partially obstructing this. Oh, almost. I guess we could push it down a bit. We could also move that down a little bit too. I do kind of like how close that is though to the edge here. I don't think I'd want that farther away. And then this just feels like a big waste of space. I guess we could fill this in with maybe some of the customizer things, like the patterns. Makes it feel like maybe there's a spot to stand there. Maybe we keep this to there. There's so much trial and error and back and forth with this game. It's both good and a little frustrating, depending on your state of mind, or like whether you feel like it's taking too long or what. No, that doesn't make any sense. Right, well what if we do this? But then this doesn't exist. Because that goes like that, I guess? I don't know. Oh, wrong way around. Right, so we put the frame on the floor in front of the machines, but then the frame on the outside will stop. Or we don't need this here at all. There's no reason why this just can't be windows or walls like straight down, right? Like this could be easily something like that. I might actually like that better. And then I guess we would have to figure out, that's the seam, that's the middle. I would say, I imagine the middle on this side would be about where that would start again. That looks about right. We've even got upside down triangle pieces that we could mess around with. Oh, they don't fit in the center. You know, like I could have a sign up here. I am really just shooting from the hip right now. You know, and they can have like oops. I don't know. 4.6 meters. Stuff like that always adds like a lot of character. I guessed at that, by the way, but it's about 4. Do you enjoy the trial and error aspect of building? You seem to have picked 2 games that lean heavily on that aspect. I think part of it is that for in Satisfactory, I have way less of a visual library than I do in Minecraft. Like, there's some stuff in Minecraft I can just do from either memory or they're just things that I've picked up, you know. Oh, we can't have glass there because then this has got no place to empty its stuff. That's annoying. I get ahead of myself and I realize, wait a minute, you haven't hooked up all the outputs. I guess I could always go like past it and go like through the glass. Now, why does it have to curve up there? That seems dumb to me. Eh. So it's not the right level, but if we did it in the correct way, we could probably get this. So if I remove this, put the glass right. Hold on. Are you seriously telling me that this doesn't snap the right spot? Oh, no, that's my bad. That's my bad. Let's try doing this. So we could have it come through the glass. I don't mind that idea. Means we get to keep the glass. We can kind of cover up with what looks like kind of a support piece here. How many stuff did I have here? At least 2. That feels very terrestrial. I want to try and make it feel a little bit more alien or something. Echoes the shape nicely. We did a lot of this on the Metroplex sort of playthrough. Out of curiosity, what would this look like if I decided to go pillar? I like that. It adds a little bit more distance between the edge and the window. We could also try a beam. I think I like the pillar better. So we've migrated to a cleaner look here. Do we still want the beam across the bottom? Or is that too repetitive? Maybe we switch it. I forgot about banging your head off the glass. I wish you could save sign settings as like a library of sign settings. I think that would be extremely helpful. You can save your colors. I think that could be pretty cool. I almost don't want this to be as high. Oh, but not seeing that is better. We could just make this narrow. Some of the little touches in this game, yeah, I agree. Very, very cool. I quite like that. I don't know if we need a frame there as well. So we would lower this if that's the case. Oh, that we won't need this because I've decided. I think I decided I wanted a pillar here. I like the signs, but maybe we need to put them up high rather than down along the floor. Or both. I think I like them up high. Alright, I think we're really getting somewhere with this. I like the permanency of it. Like, I like that it feels like these are just not slapped on a platform. I like that it feels like, you know, this feels like it was designed for this particular machine. I think we leave this corridor open? I don't know if we put a ramp down. I mean, that looks okay. But then we don't have... Right, we'd have to come up with some way of making sure that the whole length works out for these spaces, because if we start putting these along here, this isn't centered over that, and we start running into all kinds of things. Although maybe we don't have to worry about it. As long as this thing, I mean, that to me looks about where the other one is. Right? Like, that seems like it spaces out. Looks like a mirror image. I mean, was that above this? One, two, three, four. Thanks, Cosmic. Right, so we decided not to have that. And then after this, it has a block. Question is, do we like that whole angled window? Do we close it here? No, that feels dumb. And I guess we have to figure it out if we want to put actual glass in there too. We might want to have that glassed off. I wish we had an option to have non-dirty glass. I don't know if that's an option in the settings. That's definitely on my list. Did the sun go down and come up again? It must have. Yep. So that's pretty good. The only thing that I'm worried about now is if we put another one across from it, what is it going to look like? It's going to be too claustrophobic, you know? Plus, I have to think about that big pipe that's coming up through the middle. So this pillar is on the middle edge. Right here. Oh, I got that wrong. That's fine. So just quickly, if I grab these walls. So that, yeah, that feels really close together. Well, I guess no more close together than that. It's just that there's just these... It's got this shape to it, right? So... I don't know. Maybe when we get up above here, we have to change the angle. Maybe here we have to go with like an angled wall. No, even then you can't see it, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, having that gap helps a little bit. Does that mess up the light though? Yeah, then the light can't be directly over the machine. Unless we want the light to kind of stick out, but I don't think I do. Yeah, I mean, I like this design. I'm just worried now about the proximity of everything. And we've got room if we wanted to nudge it. My gosh, we've got tons of room. If we wanted to move the whole thing back. Well, let's put in the machine and we'll try to figure it out. So it looks like it's one click back from that, and we should be able to line this up. And then it was centered on an eighth of this machine. So 1, 2.5. So 1, 2. Oh, autosave. Autosaves are getting longer, I have to say. After watching BL Andrew and how long his saves are, I'm a little scared. So 1, 2.5. No. Yeah, here. No, it's this one. Oh, right. This is going to be the different side of the machine. Oh, maybe that's not too claustrophobic. I guess the real question is what are we going to do with that big pipe for fuel? I don't want to put it all the way at the back because then you're like running it. I guess it doesn't matter if it's running horizontal. You're not really wasting any energy. So what I'm thinking is that this fuel pipe that goes up through the middle there, we have to get it to the second floor. We don't have to see it. It could easily go up a wall. Or if we wanted to have it, we could have it maybe showcased at the end of everything. So these are going to all output into the floor here. And then at the very end here, we could have some kind of cool, you know, pipe that divides the back here. And it could just go straight up in the back. And maybe this could open up a bit. So like in the same way that we have this come in and open up and get wider, maybe we could do the same thing. See, now this is feeling kind of flat to me. I wonder if it's better to have like a door in that space. I like that better than the triangle. That's for sure. Oh, then we ran into a problem there. Well, we could fix that later. More break time when you're ready. Yes, that is correct. This might not feel as claustrophobic because I'm thinking once we get it all in, we'll have to do something here. I think maybe the thing is, ironically, to make it less claustrophobic is to add more angles in. So maybe we do the walls, the angled walls coming in instead of going out. Obviously not perfect, but like we would line it up to work. Or we could just have a series of like struts across the top. You can always layer more detail. It's more about just making sure the overall shape lines up with the fact that you have to deal with such large wall pieces and large floor pieces. I think that's the biggest challenge. And this way, I think we'd end up with the machines. Yeah, we'd have to be tricky with this. How did we... So this will be different because we're not going to line this up exactly because we want this piece here. 1, 2. Maybe we'll have to be a little bit more precise with this for sure, but... Oh, I can't select it now. There we go. Yeah, see, that's in the wrong position. So in order for this to work, we'd have to push this blender back. I'm pretty sure these blenders are... staggered? Yeah, so they don't line up. I'm okay with that. That's fine. Just means I put that in the wrong spot. But I would say all we have to do is just nudge it like a couple ticks that way, and then it'll line up with the same way that these are done. So, cool. Thanks for the break reminder, Cosmic. Appreciate it. We will adhere. That's a giant hole. We will adhere to that break. If you're new to the channel, I take a break once an hour. This will be my last one. I do have to go eat dinner soon. Or cook dinner. I'm going to barbecue. It's a beautiful night. Going to be some good eats. Chicken and probably some fresh pesto. Oh, I don't want to be in a hypertube. Autopilot. I want to be on a train. Cool. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I did try to add a full loop to this train, but it doesn't seem to want to do it. At least I'm traveling on the right-hand side of the track. Why can I not? Hello? Oh, there we go. One of my trains has stopped working. I don't know why. No, wrong. Wrong tunnel. Accidental hypertube. There we go. I guess we have to think about how these blenders are going to look from the outside as well. Line up the windows on the outside of the building to maybe showcase what's going on inside. Alright, so that has to be pushed down a bit. Did I delete that pillar? No, okay, I didn't. So I'm going to say probably 2 clicks towards the edge of the building. Nope, I think we had... I think it was 3. Although, do we like that better? This is going to be really tricky to line up. It'll be very tricky to line up. Okay, so we need to go halfway here. And then, are these lined up? Yep. Goes across the top of that. I think that's right. Ah, okay. I may have to rethink. No, we want that because that lines up with the pillar. We want the wall to be in the beam. Why can we not do that? As it was wall first, then beam. I do find the selection and the aiming a little bit tricky in the game. Yeah, because that will keep the walls on the right distance for the top. So I've got 2 sets of walls. And then we grab the other one. One, two, three, 4. Get multiple walls here. There we go. Are the machines bigger than... Are there machines bigger than the blenders? Oh yeah, the refineries are bigger than the blenders. I think the biggest, like, building by volume is the nuclear power plant, but I can't even build one of those. Manufacturers are bigger. I think these are bigger. And refineries are much taller. And then... No, water extractors are not small either. They're a big piece of kit. But I would say blender, I'd say the manufacturer is probably the biggest. Next to like the power stuff. Well, coal generators are also not small. But again, like long and narrow as opposed to big and square. So this comes out nicely at 2 panels or 2.5 panels. One, two, and then I guess we stop it. One, two, three, four. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Having it mirrored like that, I'm not sure that's exactly how I want this to go. It would be cool if they were lined up, but we'd have to flip the machine, and it's an asymmetrical machine. Not that that would make a huge difference, because then I guess we would just end up with export pipes on one side and then other import pipes on the other. So we could try it. So I said it was 2 clicks away from the edge here. Grab the blender again, and we'll just flip it around. That keeps this at this end, which is fine. And then that might work. We just have to redo the angled thing here, but that should be the same. Let's say that one. So we need to move this 1 click closer, I guess. I find this part tedious. The constant back and forth trying to figure out, like, you're so close to these machines, it's almost impossible to figure out like where they line up. So again, that's too close. So I'm trying to look like where the building lines up here, and then trying to guess and get it to snap right spot, because I can't really see where I'm placing it. Okay, that worked. Then we've got, we'll have a pipe thing in the middle of the wall. Like that. So it'll be 2 on this side and 1 on that side going down. And that looks like it worked. Yep. Yeah, see that feels much better, I think. And honestly, I think it might be better to just continue this and just do this. And maybe have the windows go the whole way. I think that works. I don't remember. Can you dye? I don't think you can dye the windows with the customizer. Changes the highlight, but that's about it. Yeah. Okay. It would work on any other window that has like a colored part to it, I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah, so that's like a concrete window. So it's just the outside color here changes on the outside. Everything's so dirty. Yeah, it would be neat if you could tint the windows. I mean, I guess the easy way to do that is to tint the light inside. Change the light to red or something. And that would be cool. Alright, well, I guess that'll work. I'm not crazy about that, but there's nothing we can do if we want to continue to have the glass. I could offset the glass a little bit, but that's just going to mess things up down the line. So, guess I can throw in a couple of these. More for spacing than any, like, I don't know if I'm actually going to use this, but seems to make sense. It's going to screw around with the pipes underneath. It may make our life a little bit easier under the hood. Coffee stain, clean your windows? Exactly. Alright, so we have... This goes right on the line and right on the edge of the centerpiece. I much prefer these concrete floors for measuring. They've got these nice marks in the middle that make it easy to spot stuff. Right, so then we've got painted thing. Got ladder thing. Autosave thing. I hope people are enjoying these Satisfactory streams. I know it's a diversion from Minecraft, but I really find it's a nice way to use a different part of my brain when I'm gaming. Guess we could try to have this start here. I don't know if we need to have the little stopper on the end. That might be the better way to go. That might be a better way to go. Daylight. Finally. I think we're probably going to have to expand these a little bit, given this the room we're taking up. So where is this one laid down in relation to that? So it's a click over from the edge, so should be pretty straightforward. That should be it there. Oh, right. I've got to get this in the middle, don't I? So in the end, I don't exactly know what we do. I guess we leave it open? Because this is just going to continue down this way. I guess technically this would be the wall. It is lucky that I have plenty of room, but I definitely designed this knowing that if I went past this endpoint, it would not be the end of the world. And that's why I'm kind of going through each level and kind of like getting it to the next stage, each level one at a time. So this would just continue along. That. Oh, why does that not work? Well, yes it does, right? Yep. Yeah, definitely having flashbacks from working on Metroplex last fall when I had all those angles and stuff happening on the front of the doors. Made it look like big metal teeth. Oh, it even ends up on the same... Okay. We made that symmetrical. That's good. We're not quite at the ceiling, but I wanted to stop there. Yeah, I kind of went into, you know, I was talking earlier about not having the right, you know, vocabulary of building shapes for this game built into my memory yet, but at the same time I realized I just did exactly what I said I couldn't do, which was I ended up doing the same pattern that I did on Devastator. Well, same shape, smaller scale. It's not exact, but not Devastator. Metroplex. So this would stop there, and I guess it would start again right on the middle. So, ooh, that doesn't work. I guess we leave some of this open. It feels like a weird opening. And without a half wall, that's tricky. We might have to move this panel down to here so that they're symmetrical. Oh, that's a pain too. Is it just the order in which you build it? No. Crap. So these pillars might not be something we can do. I don't mind the lack of white along the bottom. Oh, thanks, Cosmic. I guess that gives us a place to put that. You're really not going to see those runner lights, though. This might not work out evenly either. I wish these were easier to place. Oh, so close. So we'll have to come up with some sort of pattern. That's not enough space, I don't think. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. We'll have to come up with something. It would be more interesting with a pattern of lights anyway. Like maybe we end up doing something like this. Remove those ones and then grab like one of the small ones. Or something. You know, just have a couple. That's going to be tedious to try to figure out. But potentially. Whoops. Oh my gosh, stop it. Weird that these ones have a big black border, or do I miss? Oh, I missed a color. I feel like they've reduced the border on these in the model. I remember how long it took to do the signs on Metroplex, and it was worth it in the end, but it was a very long task. So that could look cool. We could maybe center them underneath the bottoms of these windows or something. Well, that should work out with these then. Like, that should go there. This should go here. We just have to figure out how we deal with an off-center hole. That should be doable because it's not like it's off by something weird. It's off by half a foundation, so that should be something we should be able to fix. It might be something as simple as putting like a solid panel here and bumping these things down. So like one thing we could try would be to use the trusty catwalk square to put in something like that. And then we should be able to grab this and attach it there. But then what do we do with that space? Well, maybe that stays open because there's a ladder there, which could make sense. Or, you know, maybe we put in a wall or something that we can attach to there. We could try doing something like a door. Maybe that looks good, maybe that doesn't. We could also try filling it with beams. Which could add a little bit of variety. But see, now it's like right up to the edge here, and then right up to the edge here. And that seems to work quite nicely. We could also then, you know, add these here if we wanted to. The overlap tightly hidden by the sign, which is pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. It'll be a little bit tedious to repeat this 8 times, but I think in the end it's just nice to have that consistency, right? I don't know about that, but the rest of it's looking pretty good. I just keep on falling into terrestrial design. Like, I want it to look more Cybertron-y and less like Earth. Trexoman, thanks very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Well, I don't think that feels terribly claustrophobic. We can continue putting this in here. throw this guy here, for example. And this could be where that pipe goes. Like maybe this isn't square. Maybe we can come at this at an angle. You know, like if that went in at an angle there, and this went in at an angle on this side, it's cool and strange that this is how you do this. 1, 2. Right? And then here, we could have that pipe that I was telling you about. So this pipe right there, that's in the middle of the whole room, we could have at the back of the whole room and have it be lit up, do all kinds of cool stuff. Something is messy with my keyboard today. It's like the buttons keep on sticking or something. Maybe this is visible from the outside. We could hide that into something. Right? I mean, that could... Definitely enjoying the factory content. Thanks, Trexo Man. Welcome in. Thanks for saying hi. So that could work too. We wouldn't... I don't think these would be here. So we might end up putting it more like out there. But then I don't know, like maybe that's where we put in some floodlights. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Maybe we hide one of these guys behind the wall. Oh, there's a glass wall there. It's clean enough that I bumped into it. You know, like we could do something like that. And if I have the electricity, I can hook those up. Right? Like that could look pretty cool. I might back them up into the wall a little bit so they don't look so, again, so much like streetlights. Maybe we do something else with them where we could hide them behind something. Stuff like that. We can mess with that. Not hard to tell that I've been streaming for a while. Yeah, bashing my face off of the glass walls. I'm assuming that is to which you are referring. I don't know about this. This is going to be tricky. The roof shape is going to be hard. And more than likely a problem for future Joel. So not exact, but pretty cool. Especially if we throw in colored light. So this is where the lights in Satisfactory really shine. Pardon the pun. Wow, that's awful. Don't tell anyone I said that. And then let's just go up from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could play with the height of those. If those are up higher, it could look cool too. I don't know if I feel like the window might be a little bit too small. We might want to change the angle, which we totally could. We could have it so that, note how I did not bash my face off the glass. We could have this angle change. This could be a lot closer to that, so we could maybe use the beam in this way. And then it'd be like 1, 2 question mark. And then that's the whole window. No, there's an overlap here, but we could maybe try to mess around with that. I don't mind this though. And we could even decorate this with more things. Like we could have signs on the wall. We could have more pipe paraphernalia. Like could have pillars. Yeah, all kinds of possibilities. I do like that sacrifice of knowing I have to get this stuff up to the next floor, but making some sort of cool showcase out of it. We could also, rather than just having this be a straight pipe alone, we could have it be more supported. Could maybe try to put some of the architecture pillars around it or something. Have it look a little bit more important. So there's a bunch of different things we could do. Thanks, Kozak. Yeah. Again, this always looks a little bit more terrestrial than I want. I'm trying to come up with more unique shapes. I do like that, like the double pillar, the concrete pillar thing. So we might end up doing something more like that. And can even have maybe like a little bit of a cross brace every now and again. I don't know. At some point you don't necessarily want to hide it, you know? I wish these things would stay straight, but that's not going to be a problem in update 6 because we can replace these with pipes that do not have the filter on it or the indicator. I don't know. Yeah, that one's rotated as well. And I guess I should change it because it's definitely, it would be a Mark II pipe. So it would have all the extra detail and stuff on it. All the little segments. So that helps add activity to the wall and interest. Spooky. Be really cool if we could nudge these back far enough where that they wouldn't catch this, it would only catch the wall. That could be kind of cool. And we could also paint the wall. Help it out with the red. Again, just making that little bit of a difference. Subtle, but there. Cool. So now that I know what's happening up top, I guess we can take a look and see what's happening underneath everything. I should probably put the holes in. Those are there. That one needs a hole. And then this one, I believe, has those two. And this one needs to be in. I don't remember how far away we made that one. I think it went straight down. Yeah, straight down. Whoop, autosave. Okay, so if we go downstairs, that's the floor. We're 2 levels above with the walkway, so I can delete this guy. So we still have this much room, which is not a ton. But what it means is that we have the output which is way down here now. So that's the line where things are leaving. So we can put this here for now. There will be a pump there. Well, probably here. And this will take in half. So that's output, and that's output. I don't know if we'll be able to get this to be as clean as I want. That's the right spot for it. I have to turn this sideways. Right, so then nice and straight. That will come into here. The other output is over there. So we'd want this here. And then that goes there. Question is, can we get this to have a nice straight... Oh, we can. This could be very, very good. Because the water's not going to, or the fuel's not going to flow straight back up. So gravity is on our side here. I wish I did know a little bit more about how the physics are done in the game. I feel like I would benefit from that. So then here, same idea. It's going to be very close to the edge, though. That's interesting. Yeah, the autosaves are getting a little bit longer. My computer is acting screwy today. There's something up, so it could be that as well. So that's going to be where this comes in. We'll have the other ones down the line. So that's just right here. This should line up. Same idea. This will go down here and line up with that. And then we just remove this little L piece, and we can just put this across to there. And then here we would just remove this temporarily and put in a junction. And the only tricky part here is that we'd have to put in a couple of valves. Because we wouldn't want this to back up. So we'd have to do valve here and a valve here. Oh, I don't have any rubber. And the cool thing about this is that there shouldn't be too much backfill because these are going to be putting out 100 apiece. This is a 300 pipe, this is a 300 pipe, and then this will be a 600 pipe. So that's the fancy pipe. But that should work. Having a valve there and a valve there, they only let the water or the liquid go through that way. Well. So then the hard part is going to be getting in the intakes, but if they're all coming from this end of the room, I can fork this way and fork that way, and we shouldn't have any overlap. So this actually might be a better setup than, hold on, I'll show you the hot mess that I have going on underneath this. When we had these so tightly packed together, this is what I had to deal with. And we'll still probably have to do some of these up downs, but I feel like I don't have to go all around in a loop like this, because this was tedious. And then this is all kinds of nonsense as well, and we won't have to do that, because like these will just go straight down and feed those, and then these ones will come in on this side and go down and feed that way. I think we might have to split this purple one. That's fine. Thank you, Cosmic. Appreciate it. Well, I feel like we didn't get a whole lot done on the whole of the Megatron base, but I feel like we got a lot sorted for the second level. I feel a lot better about this second level looking cool and now working. And now that we have this all sorted out, we can install it in at least 4 different locations, maybe 8. Because the problem is, like, I was thinking about doing something like this is what I'm going to mirror over here, but I can't decide if I want to come into the power plant on this level or if I want the entrance to be down here. And I can't decide if I want the entrance to be trains or if I want the entrance to be on foot or vehicles. Like, this is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, this is great. But I kind of want to be able to ride a train into it. And unfortunately, I planned this on the ground level, and I really like this train bridge that we've got. It's not that I can't drop the trains down. We could have the bridge, you know, the trains could come across the bridge. Then when they get to this point, they could just take a steep dive and come right in. I'm sure we could figure it out. Sure, we could figure it out. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. If you've enjoyed this, folks, I would like you to follow. I would like you to subscribe to Twitter and YouTube's, and maybe even consider subscribing on Patreon and help support the channel. If you haven't already here on Twitch, there's been a number of people that have subbed and resubbed and done the things today. I really appreciate it. Thanks again to Cosmic. I can't believe you've been able to hang out this entire time. This has been your whole Sunday. So truly, thank you ever so much. For people that are volunteering the mod on the channel, you are all awesome. I really appreciate it. You can listen to new podcasts starting tomorrow with myself and Pixel Riffs. This week is going to be a Johnny heavy week. Johnny is going to be on the Citadel Cafe as well, talking about the Rings of Power. And you can also listen to the Spawn Chunks with us tomorrow. So good times all around. Thanks so much for hanging out, folks. I'm going to pass you on to somebody else playing Satisfactory. I don't know who that is yet, so you'll be surprised, as will I. I will see you next time. Bye for now.